And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch it live, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Monday, week 7 in the NFL, folks. Sheesh, some surprising performances. A lot of points being put up this week by some teams that we didn't think were going to be putting up that many points, and some big shutouts and some big wins here. So obviously we're going to be breaking down every single game from yesterday. Great day in the NFL, and that it's all capping off tonight, week 7 officially, with the Monday night game. Saints at Seahawks, going to be a good one. We'll give you our final thoughts and opinions on that. See where that line has ended up at. It was like 4.5. See where that ended up at. And we'll give our final pick for that game as well. And we got to do our NBA 10. So just kind of recapping the day here. And we'll see what happened yesterday in football and basketball. And kind of a packed day in both. So that's what we have today on the show. So let's just jump right into it with our NBA 10. Gonna do 10 minutes today because we have so many NFL games to break down, and we usually kind of go late on Monday. So we're gonna stick to our NBA 10 here today. So let me get the clock up once again. Our engineers are working overtime, but this is a real difficult problem to solve, folks. You think it's easy to get an on-screen clock up here for this live stream? Sheesh, it takes. I don't know how like ESPN has clocks on their shows, because man, getting a clock on screen is absolutely insanely hard. So our engineers are trying, but they are still not able to crack the code. So we have to do it the old-fashioned way, with just setting a timer on our phone and letting it go. So here we go. Our NBA 10 for today starts right now. The next 10 minutes uninterrupted basketball talk. So here we go. Let's start the clock. Clock has started right now. Alrighty. NBA from last night. Some good games on. So let's start with this one. Hornets at the Nets. And the Hornets. Go to 3-0 and beat the Nets on the road. What a big win for this Hornets team. And like we said, we are loving what this Hornets team is all about. LaMelo Ball is still doing what he's doing here. So he's not a fluke. He's not a fraud. He proved it last season, and nothing has dropped off at all. If anything, he's gotten better from last season to this season. And I know it's only been 3 games, but that's all we need to see, right? LaMelo Ball, 18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, a plus 13 on the floor. Miles Bridges led the team in scoring here with 32 huge points, 56% shooting from the field, 3 of 5 from the 3, getting it done with also 9 rebounds. Gordon Hayward only put up 8 points, and they still won the game. Fantastic. Mason Plumlee, 5 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. We're a little bit, I think the Hornets will go as far as their big can really take them. They don't have that many big pieces here. PJ Washington, Cody Martin, some solid forwards there coming off the bench. But how well is Mason Plumlee going to be able to lead this team? But, they won against the Nets last night. The Nets don't have a good big. Blake Griffin didn't play last night. Nick Claxton is still kind of the starting big out here, and we know he's not the best. We wish he could become the best. He can become the best. We think that. He's just not that right now. And LaMarcus Aldridge, how is he going to fare? We know he's aging out of this league, unfortunately. So the Hornets able to get this win against the Nets because, they didn't really need to have a dominant big to, help them win the game. So we'll see how this Hornets team does, like against the Lakers with AD, in the 76ers with Joel Embiid, in the Bucks with Giannis down low, as we progress through the season and, teams start to kind of get their feeding underneath them. We have to take, the first kind of 10 games with a little bit of a grain of salt for everybody to get reacclimated into the NBA. So that's really, what's going to be determining of how we kind of rank this Hornets team. Are we calling this a top tier team or a solid tier 2 trying to reach that tier 1? And we'll know when they start facing some teams with established good bigs. But so far, Mason Plumlee's doing a good job. We just don't know if he can kind of be the best of the best. It's unfortunate. Kelly Oubre Jr. is in the starting lineup here. 9 points, 9 rebounds, getting it done. 1 of 5 from the three, 30% on 14 shots. I still think I want this man on the bench, but we'll see how this Hornets team still goes, as the season progresses. And then when we look at the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant did his thing. Kevin Durant always does his thing. We're never worried about Kevin Durant doing his thing or not. He had 38 points, 2 of 6 from 3, shot 70% at 24 shots. I mean, easy money sniper. We all know that's KD. Like we said, no Blake Griffin in this game, and James Harden had a little bit of a poor performance. He had 15 points and 8 assists and 7 rebounds. All of that is good, but he did have 8 turnovers as well. Just unfortunately come up a little bit small here, and now, everything is going back to Kyrie because obviously they're losing games. Well, they got 1 win so far, so we'll see how long until this Nets team truly just kind of boils over with all the Kyrie Irving kind of debate and conversation. So, well done with the Hornets, man. Give credit to the Hornets team. Give credit to LaMelo Ball, and these young guns are absolutely hooping over there in Charlotte. Alrighty, next game up is the Magic at the Knicks, and a big old win for this Magic team who really just came back in the fourth quarter. They were losing first, second, third quarter, and then the fourth quarter came and something clicked, and they got it done. So shout out to this Magic team for getting, I believe, their first win of the season. Cole Anthony truly getting it done here, and this is what he's going to have to do every single night if they want to kind of be competitive in all these games, and that's unfortunate for Cole Anthony because he is a really solid, good talent emerging in this league. There's just nothing else great on this Magic team, so gonna kind of fade into oblivion a little bit, but I mean, look at this performance by Cole Anthony, a guard, folks. 29 points, but 16 rebounds. Oh my God, he grabbed more boards than Mo Bamba did. How is that even possible? 8 assists, 1 steal, shot great, 5 of 9 from 3, 56% on 16 shots. Absolutely magnificent here by Cole Anthony to push them over the edge and get the win here on the road. And it was really just all Cole Anthony. Mo Bamba 10 points, 13 rebounds. Jalen Suggs 11 points. Terrence Ross off the bench with 22 huge points as well. So we'll see how often and how far Cole Anthony can kind of put up these performances and how far this Magic team can go. I don't think they even come close to the playoffs, but hey, if Cole Anthony is going to be showing out like this maybe every single night, they can get a couple of wins here and maybe start competing for that 8th seed. So shout out to the Magic, and we'll see maybe this kind of cast of tier 2 players, kind of borderline tier 3 players, honestly. We'll see if Cole Anthony can lead the charge. And then on the Knicks side, just a little bit of a collapse there in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, this Knicks team was still kind of doing what they're doing. Julius Randle with another great performance. Needs to clean up the shooting a little bit, but 30 points and 16 rebounds. We'll take that every single night. Just got to be a little bit more efficient. Shooting the ball 2 of 10 from 3, 33% from the field on 24 shots. Definitely got to clean it up a little bit. Kemba Walker still in the starting lineup, but not playing as many minutes as Derrick Rose, so I guess that's some silver lining we can take out of it. We just really want Derrick Rose to be the starter here. But Kemba Walker, 10 points, 3 assists in 19 minutes, and he was a minus 14, the worst by far from the squad. And then you get Derrick Rose off the bench, 28 minutes, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and he was a plus 8. So obviously we know Derrick Rose is better than Kemba Walker, and we want Kemba Walker just kind of running the B team, the second unit, which is still a really good unit. This is why we like the Knicks, folks. Remember, I mean, Taj Gibson, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel Quickley all coming off the bench who have, the potential to all put up like 10 plus points a game. They didn't do it here this night, and this is kind of why they floundered a little bit in the fourth quarter, but and this is why they kind of lost the game. But overall, we're not worried about this Knicks team as of yet. Evan Fournier, his kind of first bad game overall with the Knicks this season, only 8 points and 5 rebounds and 2 of 7 of 3 and 27% shooting from on 11 shots. So unfortunately, the Knicks lose a little bit of a close one here and kind of blow it in the fourth quarter, unfortunately. So the Magic get the win, and this is what we've seen already kind of twice by the Knicks so far. One time they went into overtime or double overtime with the Celtics kind of first game, and they won it, but they still kind of blew some chances to win that game and kind of not let it go into overtime. And now here they are again blowing the lead in the fourth quarter against the Magic. So we'll keep kind of track on that. I still know it's early on in the season. I mean, only kind of 3 games played so far for these teams, so no cause for concern and panic just quite yet. It's a long season, 82 games, but we'll keep an eye on this Knicks team as they progress to see if this is something we have to worry about them not closing the deal. All right, next game up is the Celtics at the Rockets, and the Celtics win, and this isn't surprising. The Rockets aren't that good, but the Celtics are able to win without Jaylen Brown, which is really good out here. Dennis Schroeder moved into the starting lineup here for Jaylen Brown. We just want Dennis Schroeder the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3. This is what we want to see. Marcus Smart still running the 1 here, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Solid performance. He was a plus 12. Dennis Schroeder's first time in the starting lineup here for the Celtics, 18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 of 4 from the 3, but 50% on 14 shots. We'll take that. And he was a plus 15 on the floor. So real solid first starting performance here by Dennis Schroeder. And we want to kind of see him in the starting lineup. I think we got to kind of move this around, maybe move Marcus Smart to the 4. I know you're going a little small ball there when you do that, but I just don't know if Marcus Smart is going to be kind of a starting point guard, a starting number 1 for a championship winning team. So we'll see how the Celtics team is, looking as we progress through the season. We don't really think there's anything great on this team besides Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and we'll see how, Al Horford does as he's aging out of this league a little bit. I mean, he had 17 points and 10 rebounds. That was real great. Robert Williams still playing the 5 here, only 2 points, 4 rebounds. So we know Robert Williams isn't the best big, definitely a tier 2 and trying to, kind of a little bit of bottom, middle of the pack tier 2 player here, Robert Williams. We'll see if he can continue to get better. He's still young, and he was kind of making strides last season. But so far this season, he's a little hit and miss. But and once again, Peyton Pritchard and Aaron Nesmith not really doing anything in this game. They need to get these young players acclimated to playing and being productive members to this bench, but Celtics end up winning by 10 here. And then with this Rockets team, I mean, Daniel Tice is still playing the 5. We don't like that. Christian Wood had an all right game, 20 points, 9 rebounds. Jalen Green, 30 points. This Rockets team, we're not expecting really anything big with. So Celtics get a nice easy win here on the road, 107-97 over the Rockets. We get the 76ers at the Thunder here, and man, oh man, Seth Curry, folks, 28 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He shot 7 of 10 from 3. Absolutely fantastic here. And I mean, I'm loving this 76ers starting lineup of Maxi at the 1, Seth Curry at the 2, Danny Green at the 3, Tobias Harris at the 4, Joel Embiid at the 5. I mean, this is a real great lineup. Basically exactly what their lineup was last year with Ben Simmons at the 1, and now, we know how that's playing out. But we got to give credit to Tyrus Maxi, and that's our 10 minutes, but we got to finish up here quickly. Tyrus Maxi, I mean, this man is emerging, folks. Let this man get 20 games under his belt here in the starting lineup. This is only his second season, folks, and Tyrus Maxi is already kind of handling the early pressure kind of real well. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and he was only a -3 on the floor. That's going to get better as he gets kind of minutes on the floor with the starting lineup. So this is going to be a real great 76ers team, and then it just frees up, Seth Curry shooting more, Tobias Harris shooting more, Joel Embiid shooting more, because you don't have a ball-dominant shooting or Ben Simmons was never a shooting dominant point guard. We know that. But Tyrese Maxey, I mean, he's obviously the 5th option on this team, and that's no disrespect to Tyrese Maxey. That's just how good this starting lineup is for the 76ers. So Tyrese Maxey, doesn't need to play selfish or anything like that, doesn't even need to kind of control the game. He just needs to be a really good game-managing point guard, and, he's getting up into that point. So watch out for the 76ers team, folks. They're going to be really gosh dang good. And then, unfortunately, for the 76ers, I mean, and unfortunately for the Thunder team, nobody's good on this team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 29 points, fantastic, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, but nothing else good. Luguentz Dort is still shooting 1 of 6 from the 3, 13 points, not really doing anything great in this game on this team. So this Thunder team, they've got big issues everywhere. There's nothing good on this team besides Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luguentz Dort doesn't really know where he fits in on this team. So nothing great there by the Thunder. 76ers get the nice 115-103 win. Alrighty, we got a couple more games to go over. 3 more games. Quickly. Here we go. Warriors at Kings. And now we know it is official here. Buddy Hield is going to be traded. He's not even starting. Obviously, he wasn't starting all season, 3 games in. He's shooting threes. We know that's what he does. But, 2 of 10 from the 3, 6 points off the bench. He played 25 minutes, which is good. But now we do know he is going to get traded here. An NBA executive on Buddy Hield says, quote, Buddy's is going to be gone. They already traded him and had a deal done. So, they're just trying to kind of, wait for the deal, or, if that is true, that an NBA executive is, saying truthful things out here, he should be gone any minute here, and that's why he's on the bench here, not in the starting lineup. So we hope Buddy Hield goes to a championship contender. We love what he can do. Good defense, big three potential, absolutely great. But besides that, De'Aaron Fox for the Kings, 17 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Davion Mitchell coming off the bench had a better performance this game. Thank goodness, 22 points, 4 assists. Going to be interesting to see what they do with De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell. But overall, nothing else really good on this Kings team. Don't really think they're going to be that competitive this season. And then with this Warriors team, Steph Curry does his thing, 27 points, 10 assists. Jordan Poole, 22 points, fantastic there. And Andrew Wiggins, man, we talk about big threes in the NBA all the time, but Andrew Wiggins is one of the most consistent third options in this league, folks, dating back to last season and still getting it done here. 17 points, 4 rebounds, and he was a plus 18 on the floor, the highest of the squad. So Warriors take care of business by 12 here, 119-107 very easily. Then we get the Grizzlies at the Lakers, and an unfortunate end to this Grizzlies game here. Ja Morant misses a free throw to tie it up, and that's basically why they lose the game. But Ja Morant, don't get down on yourself here, folks. We see it right here. Let's go to the play-by-play in the fourth quarter. We get Ja Morant at the line, down 1 point, down 118-119. He was fouled for 3 free throws, but he misses the last one that would have tied it up, and they lose the game because of that. But Ja Morant, don't worry, because just last season, Giannis, game number 1, we got to go back to December 23rd, 2020. This was game 1 last season, folks, and guess what happened? Giannis at the free throw line to tie the game right here, misses the second free throw that would have tied it 122 all to go into overtime, but he misses it. They lose the game, but then Giannis went on to win the championship that season. So Ja Morant, don't worry, you're on pace to win a championship this season by missing a game-tying free throw real early on in the season. So don't trip, don't dwell too much on this loss. You're gonna be at the finals this season, so this is great. Locking the bets already for Grizzlies to win the NBA championship this season, folks. We're drawing parallels to the Bucks from last season. That's how good of a team that this Grizzlies team is, folks. But let's get to the stats here. Ja Morant, 40-piece, 40 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, 3 rebounds. Absolutely fantastic. Just unfortunately missed that game-tying free throw, unfortunately. Steven Adams, 14 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists. Gosh, I love Steven Adams, folks, and I'm so glad he's on once again another kind of championship caliber team, and he's starting here. It's absolutely fantastic. So everything is going very well for this Grizzlies team, and the Lakers get on track here. Their first win of the season, finally. Russell Westbrook, 13 points, 13 assists, 4 steals, 7 rebounds. A great game overall. Obviously not the best scoring-wise because that's Russell Westbrook. We all know this. Anthony Davis, 22 points, 8 rebounds. LBJ, 19 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, all getting it done. But then Carmelo off the bench leading the squad in scoring, 28 points, a plus 19 on the floor, 6 of 8 from the 3. Holy moly. Carmelo truly getting it done. Malik Monk with a solid 12 points, a plus 19 on the floor. Love the addition of Malik Monk here. Really think he's going to be very, very good and an integral, jeez, I can't even say that, unfortunately, an integral piece to this Lakers team if they want to win a championship. So Lakers get their first win, but Ja Morant will be seeing a team. We don't know which team, but the Grizzlies will be in the NBA Finals, folks. Book it, mark it, bet it. It's happening. All right, so that was the NBA from last night. We got some good matchups on tonight as well. We get Celtics at Hornets. Hornets going back-to-back. Hopefully we can get a good Hornets game. Bucks at Pacers. Pistons at Hawks. Wizards at Nets. Magic at Heat. Bulls at Raptors. Pelicans at Timberwolves. Cavs at Nuggets. And Blazers at Clippers. Really interested to see this third game for the Timberwolves as well, with the big three of Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards and... why am I blanking on the other dude's name? The point guard, D'Angelo Russell. Something like that. Whoever it is, folks, y'all know who it is. We can't remember the name. Sue us. We've got NFL to talk about, so let's go to the NFL, folks. That was our NBA Daily 10. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about the NBA as well. But week 7 in the NFL, folks. Sheesh. Absolutely great day of football. The 1s, the 4s, the late game was pretty good. Monsoon, football weather, downpouring, and competitive game. A lot of turnovers, but competitive game nonetheless. So let's start breaking down, getting a nice baseline here so we're all on the same page of what happened here, what the stats were looking like, who was doing, how they were scoring, all that. So then we can progress through our weekly tradition here of just breaking down the week and getting prepared for the next week, so we have, the numbers on our side, so we can hit our picks, so we sound smart when we know what we're talking about and all of that. So let's just start here with the first game, Panthers at the Giants, and man, oh man, what an utter disappointment once again by Sam Darnold. No Christian McCaffrey, and they lose the game again. 4 straight losses for this Panthers team in another subpar performance by Sam Darnold. I mean, you go 16 of 25 for only 111 yards. You're telling me that Sam Darnold can only throw 111 yards against this Giants team? Come on. And yeah, they put up 3 points, but it was literally on their first drive. After the first drive, they did nothing, literally nothing. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference if the Panthers just left the stadium after that first drive. I mean, they would have put it up the same performance. And I still think the Giants, playing against nobody, probably still would have been held to only 25 points, honestly, which isn't a good thing. But yeah, I mean, after this first field goal drive, I mean, we get 4 plays, 1-yard punt. Then they get the safety, Sam Darnold taking the intentional grounding in the end zone. Classic Sam Darnold there, turning over the ball, not making a smart play. And everybody wanted to blame Adam Gase for Sam Darnold's dysfunction, which I kind of agree with. Adam Gase is trash, so he's not going to make anybody good. But I mean, we were always worried about Sam Darnold because of his completion percentage, folks. I mean, I'll bring them up. I mean, these are absolute garbage numbers for overall seasons. I mean, we're talking barely 60%, folks, his first couple of years. And, like I said, everybody was blaming that on, just the dysfunction of the Jets with Adam Gase and, Todd Bowles there as well as the head coach. But, I mean, this was the only thing that was really concerning to us, that really told us that Sam Darnold could not play. Year 1, 57% completion percentage. Year 2, 61.9%, which is getting better, but still not at kind of that 63 mark minimum we need to see. And then he regressed to year 3. Again, 59%. So we just could not buy Sam Darnold because of that. And once again, he's not getting it done here for the Panthers. So I'm glad that Matt Rule threw away Teddy Bridgewater for Sam Darnold, who is kind of looking to be, a worse downgrade. I think I take Teddy Bridgewater. I know I take Teddy Bridgewater over Sam Darnold. I think any day of the week. I know Teddy Bridgewater's not winning that many games either, but I mean, Teddy Bridgewater won 4 games for the Panthers last season. The Panthers are kind of on pace for 4 wins probably again this season, because I don't see them really winning these games consistently anymore. The defense is getting tired of the offense not putting up any production, and we see like 10 teams where that's the case, and this Panthers team is now one of them, because Sam Darnold cannot move the ball. I mean, just look at these yard totals on these drives. 1 yard, 2 yards. That was a safety drive. 7 yards. Then they go 62 yards, finally able to get something cooking. But then Sam Darnold has something to say about it and throws a pick, and it's a real bad pick there, folks. Nobody even in the vicinity besides 4 Giants defenders. And that's where Sam Darnold decides to go with the ball at the Giants' 25-yard line. As they were only down 2 points, they could have taken the lead with a field goal, but Sam Darnold wants to throw an interception. Then they're back at only moving the ball 3 yards. Then it's halftime, and then out of halftime, 13-yard drive, 8-yard drive, 1-yard drive, and then Sam Darnold gets benched. Yes, you heard that right. He got benched in the fourth quarter, and which is real interesting because at the start of the fourth quarter, folks, they were only down 12-3. That's a 9-point game, and then they go up and put up a field goal on the Giants put up a field goal on their first drive of the game. So now they're only down 12 points, folks. That's only 2 possessions with an entire 12 minutes left in the game. But they decided to bench Sam Darnold for PJ Walker. P. Walker, I think it's PJ Walker. And, he can't move the ball either. But, they were in the game. You're only down 12, and that's doable. We just saw Tua come back down 13 points in the fourth quarter and go on touchdown drive to take a 1-point lead. Sam Darnold could have had the same opportunity here, but they bench him so he doesn't get that chance because Matt Rule was like, get this dude out of here. We get nothing out of this dude. There's no chance of winning, so we have to go with the backup here to potentially come back to win. So real interesting timing and with benching Sam Darnold, but Matt Rule says no, don't worry. Sam Darnold is going to be our quarterback moving forward, and obviously you've got to. Matt Rule has to keep Sam Darnold. He actively moved off of Teddy Bridgewater and actively traded for Sam Darnold. He's obviously got to stick with him. So, not the greatest there. Did I just close this? No. Here we go. All right, so back to this. Let's start getting some stats up here on the board. Sam Darnold goes 16 of 25. Let's get that completion percentage up here. 16 of 25, which is 64%, which is good, but 111 yards on 16 completions. He's dinking and dunking, and he doesn't even have Christian McCaffrey with him, folks. So, once again, another poor performance by Sam Darnold. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. The running game never really got going, and why are we rushing the ball only 12 times? What are we doing out here? Get Chuba Hubbard the ball. Let this man work. Obviously, he's not as good as Christian McCaffrey, but, Sam Darnold can't work without Christian McCaffrey, so you've got to just run the ball here. 12 carries for Chuba Hubbard, 28 yards. Let's also go back to the quarterbacks here. PJ Walker, he didn't do anything either, so obviously there's no competition here. PJ Walker, 3 of 14 for 33 yards, but we'll analyze him probably on Wednesday to see should they make the switch. Is he looking better than Sam Darnold? That's atrocious right there. 3 of 14, folks. I don't even want to get the completion percentage up because it's going to be disrespectful. It's going to be real disrespectful because it's going to be so bad. 3 of 14, sheesh. What do we got? 21% completion percentage, folks. Jeez Louise. So that's absolutely atrocious. Who were they trying to get the ball to here? DJ Moore, leading receiver, thank goodness, at least. 6 receptions, 73 yards, but then it goes to Chuba Hubbard, 4 catches for 28 yards. Keith Kirkwood, 3 catches, 16 yards. Robbie Anderson, 3 catches, 14 yards. And, Teddy Bridgewater was able to get, Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore both at 1,000 yards. And, Sam Darnold is getting Robbie Anderson 14 yards a game out here. So, we still are perplexed by the decision Matt Rule made this offseason. And now it's, he's reaping what he's sowing, unfortunately. Panthers start 3-4. All right, let's talk about the Giants now. And, this Giants team, this doesn't give us any, believability, buyability, bettability in this Giants team. They weren't getting going. They weren't doing anything. They had 5 points going into halftime. And then it just took, some garbage Carolina Panthers defense performances in the second half for the Giants to, kind of squeak some points in here. So nothing great here by the Giants. Yes, they win. They put up 13 points in the fourth quarter. That's when PJ Walker took over. Coincidence or correlation? I'll let y'all decide, but we're not still excited about this Giants team. We're not going to be talking up Daniel Jones and talking up Jason Garrett now. No. This is still a not good Giants team. They just beat a not good Panthers team. When 2 bad teams face each other, one team just has to win. So we're not sold on this Giants team. We wish we were, but we're still not. Daniel Jones goes 22 of 33. 66% completion percentage for 203 yards, a little bit of dink and dunk. He had a touchdown, only 1. Okay. Rushing attack was all right. Devontae Booker taking over, obviously, for Saquon Barkley, still out there trying to hope that they can get that man back soon, potentially this week. I think there is potential for Saquon Barkley to play this week, but we'll see. Devontae Booker, 14 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones was throwing to leading receiver Darius Slayton, 5 receptions for 63 yards. Evan Ingram getting involved in tight end day, 6 catches for 44 yards. Dante Pettis, 5 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. John Ross, 2 receptions for 27 yards. And then they had Daniel Jones catching a pass for 16 yards. Great job there. They had Daniel Jones rushing the ball 8 times for 28 yards. So now that Daniel Jones got a concussion, Jason Garrett kind of wants to be like, all right, well, throw everything at him then. He's already kind of damaged goods let him run, let him catch some passes out here. And he took a little bit of a shot on that catch. Nice one-handed haul in by Daniel Jones, so we give the man credit. But overall, taking some unnecessary risks and hit, and once again, 8 carries after the concussion. Now they're working in Daniel Jones with the rushing game. I don't know what Jason Garrett's doing over there with the Giants, but nothing good all around there. So 2 bad teams play each other. Nothing good. Slow first half. 13 points by the Giants in the fourth quarter because the game was over, because they threw in the towel, because they benched Sam Darnold. So Sam Darnold got benched this season, folks. And y'all were clowning Tua for getting benched last season, rookie year. Okay, keep that same energy, folks. Panthers absolutely get obliterated here, 25-3 to the Giants. Sheesh. Alrighty, next game up here in another obliteration. Jeez Louise. Patriots get the big ol' win, 54-13. And man, oh man, let's start here with this Patriots team because they got out to a hot-ass start. I mean, look at this. Touchdown the first drive, touchdown second drive, field goal third drive, touchdown again. They're up 31-7 going into halftime, and then out of halftime still keeping up the scoring pace. Field goal drive, punt, and then touchdown. 3 touchdowns to end the game. Holy moly. And they win the game 54-13. And I understand, they scored a lot of points because the Jets were, giving them real good starting field positions, especially in the second half here. These touchdown drives starting at the Jets' 43-yard line, starting at their own 47-yard line, and then they took this one starting at their own 22-yard line. So not even really that great field position all around, but still truly getting it done. That's a great performance by this Patriots team that, always kind of says, whenever they come off of a loss or anything like that, they always kind of remind people the next week, hey, don't disrespect us. We were great for 20 years, yes, because of Tom Brady, but we still got half of the other kind of algorithm here of why we were winning, and that's because of Bill Belichick and shutting down the Jets here offensively coming out of a bye. What a truly garbage performance coming out of a bye. Robert Saleh, defensive-minded head coach, allows 54 points to a Mac Jones-led offense. Zach Wilson off of a bye. He got injured this game, but he still had the whole first quarter, and they got down 17-0 really kind of in the first quarter, so that's unfortunate. But Zach Wilson, and he didn't have that many opportunities, but still Zach Wilson offensively did nothing off of a bye. I mean, this first drive off of a bye should have been like 6 for 6 passing for 75 yards and a touchdown, but they go 5 plays minus 4 yards on your first drive after a bye. Real bad performance out here, and Robert Saleh starts his kind of career off of a bye 0-1. We've got the stats. Everybody loves Andy Reid off of a bye, and Bill Belichick versus rookie quarterbacks. Those are the big 2 stats that everybody pulls out, when those circumstances come up and be like, oh, that's a surefire bet every single week. So Robert Saleh is not going to be having any of those kind of big accolade number statistics on his side because he just floundered here off the bye 0-1 and gave up 54 points. So not great there. Zach Wilson goes down, and that's truly unfortunate. If Zach Wilson stayed in, do they win the game? No. Well done by Mike White. As soon as kind of Zach Wilson goes out, he kind of picks up exactly where Zach Wilson leaves off and goes down and scores a touchdown, so that's fantastic. But they were already down 17-0 at this point. I don't know. Like I said, Zach Wilson did get injured on this drive. And, Mike White, right? That's his name? Yeah, Mike White. He didn't really pass here, but he threw the touchdown on 3rd and goal from the 3, so that's good. That was his only pass there on that touchdown drive initially when they made the switch from Zach Wilson to Mike White because of the injury, and they go down and score 7, so that's great, but overall they put up 13 points, so weren't able to keep up that offense there, and that's truly unfortunate there for this Jets team. So Zach Wilson going to be out a couple of weeks here. We got Jets quarterback Zach Wilson is expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained PCL, so truly unfortunate here for Zach Wilson, who kind of told us, and that's why we took the Jets plus 6.5 this week, was because, we heard Zach Wilson, what he was saying, going into the bye, that he knew what was wrong and how to fix it, and then he comes out here and unfortunately gets injured. So, once again, we can't buy Zach Wilson. We're not buying this Jets team. We're not buying Robert Saleh after the bye, so nothing really great here to work with this Jets team. All right, let's talk about some stats here. Let's start here with this Jets team. Here we go. Zach Wilson went 6 of 10. 10 passes, 60%, 51 yards, nothing good. A couple of, first drive, -4 yards. Second drive, he moves on 45 yards, gets into field goal range. Unfortunately, couldn't drill the 48-yarder. So, Zach Wilson trying, I guess we should give Zach Wilson a little bit more credit. Moved him into field goal position. Were driving there for the touchdown. Unfortunately, gets injured. So, I guess we'll give Zach Wilson a little bit more credit there. Mike White goes 20 of 32 passing. 20 of 32, we get 62% completion percentage, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Let's see where these interceptions came. Both interceptions came in the third quarter on back-to-back drives, and luckily the Patriots could only take advantage of one of the interceptions, cashing in a touchdown. But at that point, it's 41-13. The game is still over at that point as well. All right, running game. Michael Carter still only had 11 carries. And I know y'all got down big bad, so you really had to abandon the running game. But, I mean, when Zach Wilson goes down, you've got to run heavy here and, just kind of try to see what you could do. Rely on your defense. Once again, Robert Saleh, defensive-minded head coach here, and the defense gave up 54 points. And, we're going to talk about the Dolphins game in a couple of games up as well. Brian Flores, defensive-minded head coach, loses the game off of a last drive game-winning field goal because the defense can't step up. I don't want defensive-minded head coaches at the head coaching position, folks. I don't think it really does anything. It doesn't result into anything meaningful or good. Yes, Bill Belichick's the exception, folks. I get it. But it's Bill Belichick, the exception to the rule. So Michael Carter, running back here for the Jets, 11 carries for 37 yards. Who was getting the ball here by these two quarterbacks? Michael Carter, leading receiver, the running back, classic, because, backup quarterback comes in. So, of course, you're going to dink and dunk and use your safety blankets. Michael Carter, 8 catches for 67 yards. Ty Johnson, 6 catches for 65 yards. Corey Davis, 4 catches for 47 yards. He scored the touchdown as well. Jamison Crowder, 4 catches, 34 yards. And Ryan Griffin, 1 catch, 15 yards. Elijah Moore, 1 catch, 13 yards. And he has 6 targets. Ooh, that's not great there. So inaccurate passes here by the Jets, bad defense, and a blowout to show for it. All right, let's talk about this Patriots team who was just scoring literally every single possession for the most part out here. Mac Jones goes 24 of 36, playing absolutely great game manager football here. 66% completion percentage, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Man, oh man. The running game, Damian Harris, 14 carries for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. J.J. Taylor, 9 carries for 21 yards and 2 touchdowns himself. Mac Jones takes off 3 times, rushing for 19 yards. So everything was great here offensively for this Patriots team. Give them some credit here. This Patriots team is they are pretty good at, and we've got to see them kind of start winning against some of the good teams. Close loss against the Cowboys last week, but once they start beating some of these kind of top tier teams that we have in our top 10, I've got no problem kind of talking about the Patriots a little bit more in depth, but we've got to see them start to beat the elite teams. Yes, blowing out the Jets is a good, it's good to show, but overall win-wise, not the best because it's the Jets. But either way, the Patriots are figuring out, and this is a kind of a little bit of a rebuild, not a total rebuild without Tom Brady, but it seems like Mac Jones can kind of play ball. He had them in the game against the Cowboys, and that was the defense too as well. It was the whole team, but I think Mac Jones is the perfect kind of fit here. Tom Brady was taken to be kind of a game manager, 6th, 7th round drafted, whatever it was. Mac Jones out here, not the best arm in the world, but can make all the throws. We saw him at Alabama with all the stars around him, and he was able to get them the ball whenever they needed to, decently accurately. So he could do the same thing here with the Patriots. So watch out for the Patriots, folks. Watch out for the Patriots next year. I don't know if they'll get it together this year to start beating the good teams, but you give Mac Jones this season plus an offseason with Bill Belichick, and then Bill Belichick able to get some more better players through the draft and free agency. This could be a real good Patriots team come next season. So watch out for the Patriots and the Eagles. Those are our kind of 2 early dark horses for next season that we don't think quite get it figured out this year, but watch out for them next year, truly. All right, let's see what this Patriots team is all about here. Who they were throwing to. Brandon Bolden, leading receiver, 6 catches, 79 yards, a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, 4 catches, 68 yards. And then we have Jonnu Smith. So once again, yes, Mac Jones is utilizing his tight ends, but they're usually not the leading receivers. And that's huge here for a rookie quarterback, not just taking dink and dunk after dink and dunk and utilizing your safety blankets here. Let the ball rip. See what you can do. Test yourself, test your arm, and give your great receivers a chance to catch the ball. They're doing that here. So great job by this Patriots team. And great job by Mac Jones as well. Jonnu Smith, 2 catches for 52 yards. Nelson Aguilar, 2 catches, 51 yards, a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 5 catches, 44 yards. Jacob Johnson, 2 catches, 32 yards. N'Keal Harry, 1 catch, 28 yards. Hunter Henry, 2 catches, 23 yards, 1 touchdown. So truly getting it done, spreading the ball all over the field, and making the most of what he can do for this Patriots team. So Patriots get the big old win, 54-13 over the Jets. Disappointed in Zach Wilson. Can't stay healthy. Wasn't good out of the gate. Unfortunate. Alrighty, next game up here is the Chiefs at the Titans, and once again, the disrespectful odds by Vegas on this Titans team, giving them 5, and once again, they win outright these last 2 weeks. Titans +6 against the Bills, win outright. Titans +5 against the Chiefs, win outright. Stop disrespecting this Titans team. Because they get the big old blowout win, 27-3. Held the Chiefs to only 3 points, folks. How crazy is that? We love the Titans +5 this week, but I didn't think they were going to hold the Chiefs to 3 points. Holy moly. So truly kind of blowing past our expectations. And we already had decently high expectations for this Titans team, and they surpassed it. So big credit here to this Titans team, winning 27-3. And once again, the big thing about this Chiefs team is the turnovers. Why we can't buy this, and we've said this for like the last 4 weeks. We set the bar. We didn't want to see the Chiefs with any turnovers against Washington. They had turnovers against Washington. We've sold them from that point on, and we are still continuing to see these turnovers. Patrick Mahomes, an interception. He also fumbled twice, lost one of them, and then Mecole Hardman fumbles and loses it as well. So it's not just Patrick Mahomes with the interceptions. It's Tyreek Hill with the drops that lead to interceptions and also fumbles as well. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the fumbles, and now it's Mecole Hardman with the fumbles. It's everybody with the turnovers right here with this Kansas City Chiefs team, and it's unfortunate here. Once again, big star just like Russell Wilson, in overall career-wise, getting to the Super Bowl real early on and winning, getting to another one and losing very, very not close. I gotta keep remembering not to say it was close. It was close for the Seahawks, not close for the Chiefs, but they did get to 2 Super Bowls early on in their career, and we haven't seen Russell Wilson back since. Now, Russell Wilson has been putting up great numbers and great kind of records and getting getting to some division championships, also getting to some first round exits in the wild card. So we're not expecting this Chiefs team to totally disappear and Patrick Mahomes to totally disappear, but don't expect them to kind of be Super Bowl favorites every single season and expect them to kind of get deep in the playoffs every single season like they did like these last 2 years. So we have to pump the brakes a little bit on Kansas City. First, they have to clean up the turnovers, then get back to winning games, and then move forward. And until they do that, we will not have them in our top 10, and we will not be talking highly about this Chiefs team. So real bad game here by this Chiefs team. A lot of turnovers, like we said. Patrick Mahomes, let's start with him, goes 20 of 35 out here. 20 of 35, what do we got here? 57% completion percentage, real bad. 206 yards, and then he got kind of knocked out of the game. He's all good to go. I think he tested negative for the concussion, so he's not in that or anything. Just a big, brutal hit that kind of just knocked them out for the game, and they were down. They weren't going to win the game with Patrick Mahomes in, if he stayed in the game or anything like that. So it kind of down 27-0 at that point anyway. So, Patrick Mahomes being in the game was not going to, be like, oh, well, they would have won if Patrick Mahomes just stayed in the game. No, they couldn't do anything with Patrick Mahomes in the game. So Nothing great there by Patrick Mahomes this week, and now they're 3-4. I would say little cause for concern here, little cause for panic, because what made them great these last 2 years, and why everybody was saying Patrick Mahomes could rival Brady as the greatest of all time, and this was this was the new Patriots dynasty and all that, was because of the special plays that Patrick Mahomes was making. They were all going the right way, and now we see some of these special plays kind of not going his way, and they're losing games. So once again, we got to pump the brakes. It's hard to compare anything to Brady in that Patriots organization because they did it really consistently for 20 plus years, folks. And we're getting Patrick Mahomes here, year 4, not truly getting it done. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out here for this Chiefs team, but real cause for concerns. They must button it up. It starts with the coaching. It just starts with the energy and truly everybody buying in. Got to clean up the turnovers and then start getting back on track of winning these games. But a big old blowout here, 27-3. All right, then Chad Henne comes in and goes 11 of 16 for 82 yards. Not bad there. No touchdown, no pick, but, once again, only 3 points by the time he gets in the game. It's not nothing to really work with. Alrighty, and then, barely not even running the ball here. And once again, you get down big, 17-0, 24-0. I mean, shout out to this Titans team. First 4 drives here, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, and then another field goal. They scored on every single drive there in the first half, go up 27-0, and then just kind of coast for the entire second half. They don't put up any points in the second half and are still able to win in blowout fashion there. So Chiefs just kind of unfortunately gave up. We're going forward and all that, missing some field goals as well in the second half as well for this Chiefs team. Just nothing was going right for this Chiefs team overall, and we've got to kind of start with coaching a little bit. We'll see if Andy Reid can reel back in this team. They must get reeled back in, folks. They are 3-4. Absolutely crazy. So no running here. Patrick Mahomes, 6 carries. He was the leading rusher, 35 yards. Darrell Williams, 5 carries for 20 yards. That was really it there for the rushing. And who was Patrick Mahomes throwing to? We had Brian Pringle, 5 receptions for 73 yards. Travis Kelce, 7 receptions for 65 yards. Tyreek Hill, 6 receptions, 49 yards. Darrell Williams, 3 catches, 30 yards. Mecole Hardman, 4 receptions for 28 yards. And then Jerick McKinnon for 2 receptions and 17 yards. We talked about all these turnovers, so let's talk about these turnovers. There was 3 of them here for the Chiefs. First turnover came in the second quarter, and the Titans were able to cash in 7 points, and then they fumble right on the following drive and give up a field goal. So 10 points in the first half off of turnovers, and then an they got 1 fumble that came at really kind of the end of the game here. They were already down 27-3. 3 minutes left in the game, no time to really do anything. They fumble as well there and lose it. So just nothing great by this Chiefs team. Turnovers were the concern, and they are still the concern. That's why we are selling them. But let's talk about this Titans team and why they got it done. Ryan Tannehill goes 21 of 27, just being a perfect game manager in that first half of scoring and taking advantage of the turnovers and all that. He goes 21 of 27. 77% completion percentage for 270 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His interception came in the second half here, but hey, they missed a field goal on the following drive there, so gave up no points off the turnover. We can kind of a little excuse that by Ryan Tannehill. And also, Derrick Henry threw a touchdown pass. How crazy is that? They kind of locked up Derrick Henry. He had 29 carries for 86 yards, which is kind of like the lowest we've seen by the man this season. So I guess that is good, but they didn't really need him that much. And then he ends up throwing a touchdown to a tight end on tight end day. I mean, blowing our mind, folks. You can't get any better than that. So when we watch that play tomorrow, breaking down the tight ends and, celebrating them and giving out the grades, I think we got to do a little something special for Derrick Henry, because the man was throwing passes out here, folks. Better completion percentage than Sam Darnold. Almost more yards than Sam Darnold as well. 5 yards here by Derrick Henry through the air. Fantastic. So Ryan Tannehill and company just completely get it done. Chiefs couldn't do anything. Ryan Tannehill was throwing to A.J. Brown, and this is back. They're back at it, folks. When A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are both finally healthy and playing together, they're back at the top of being the leading receivers for this Titans team. A.J. Brown, 8 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown. Julio Jones, 2 catches for 38 yards. Leading receivers here for the Titans. Absolutely fantastic. Then we have McCole Pruitt, 2 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. Josh Reynolds, 2 catches, 23 yards. And then Derrick Henry, 2 catches, 16 yards as well. So Derrick Henry getting it done in every facet of the game, running, passing, and receiving. Sheesh. I mean, could the running back get better? I mean, could Derrick Henry get better than what he already was these last 2 seasons? Rushing for 2,000 yards and all that. Man, oh man, the man's got an arm and the man can catch. So Derrick Henry's just beginning, folks. 2,000 rushing yards was just the beginning for Derrick Henry. How absolutely insane is that? So the Titans get the big old dominant win here, 27-3. And then after halftime, this is it exactly to a T, just like the Seahawks, folks. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs adjusting to 3-4 reality after blowout loss to the Titans says, quote, "It's kind of been rainbows and flowers and awesome for the last 3 years. Now there's adversity. Now the magic and the special ability of Patrick Mahomes is starting to wear out and not be 100% every single game, every single season. So we're going to get down to coaching and how much of a gamer Patrick Mahomes actually is and how quickly they can turn this around. It's going to start with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. We know they're great talents. We think they're great, special kind of big brain IQ coach-player combination because of what they have achieved already. But now when adversity is truly looking at them in the face, they were at the highest of highs for these last 2 seasons, got knocked down a little peg in the Super Bowl, and now we're getting knocked down another peg here starting 3-4. We'll see how it goes here and how they can turn it around, if they can turn it around. And here's this Patrick Mahomes just kind of stats here through the first 7 weeks. He leads the NFL with 9 interceptions. That's tied with Zach Wilson. And you don't want to be in any conversation mentioned with Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson has not done anything good his rookie year. 6 straight games with a pick. 6 straight games with a pick. Turnovers. Longest of his career. Why we were bailing on this Chiefs team like 3 weeks ago. Maybe even 4 weeks ago. 16 interceptions in 16 games. 2 turnovers this game. And then he was down 27-0 at halftime against the Titans. So bad stretch here for Patrick Mahomes. And we'll see if he can kind of get out of the funk a little bit. Alrighty, next game up here is Washington at the Packers, and this was a real close game, folks. Packers end up winning 24-10, but Washington was down, knocking on the door to score, but Taylor Heinicke letting us down big time multiple times. Easy run into the end zone, but kind of huddles and falls a little sideways, so they mark him a yard short, and that was on 4th down, so he comes up short, and then once again getting down into the red zone and not scoring. I mean, just look at all these drives that, first drive or second drive missed a field goal, missing a 42-yard field goal, a scoring chance there. Then on the following drive, turnover on downs, not getting it done at the Green Bay 27-yard line. Once again, another decision to potentially go for it, but you already just missed a field goal. You are tied 7-7 at that point, so multiple opportunities to score, and they keep on going. Then they fumble coming out of halftime, and then it's another turnover on downs, not getting it done at the Green Bay 1-yard line, and then another turnover on downs, not getting it done at the Green Bay 3-yard line. And this was on Taylor Heinicke of not getting it done running the ball and not getting it done passing the ball in the red zone. It's falling on Taylor Heinicke of the failures in the red zone. And, obviously the kicker, that was nothing to do with Taylor Heinicke, but still just nothing great here with this Washington team, and that's what made them good last season. The defense, obviously, first and foremost, but then the offense taking advantage and scoring when they needed to. This Washington team is not resembling anything that it was last year. And what was really the only main difference last year to this year? Well, we had Ron Rivera kind of going through the cancer treatments, and, we saw, everybody buying into that because the players were like, damn, this dude is going through, chemo and coming here to coach every single day and, here every day and motivating every single day. The players bought into that. Now, unfortunately, fortunately, I should say, Ron Rivera is out of cancer treatment, which is great, but maybe just doesn't have that extra edge. He was kind of forcing everybody to kind of get vaccinated. It was like, hey, I'm immunocompromised and y'all aren't going to get vaccinated. He was kind of vocal about that. So did he lose, a little, I don't want to put it this way, but did he lose a little respect in that regard? Did he just lose that little extra burst of, hey, getting it done and being physical in the red zone in tight situations? Because this is exactly what we saw, not getting it done in close situations. This was a close game, folks. And once again, this Packers team, they're 6-1, which is great. And we're going to talk about what Aaron Rodgers said after the game, and he puts it perfectly, which maybe we have to kind of start retooling our thinking of what overall this Packers team is. But once again, this Packers team not really blowing out teams. This is why we have them a little kind of lower in our power rankings, is because we just haven't seen that big burst win by this Packers team. We don't know if they have the ability to kind of just shut out a team and blow out a team in big fashion and score every single drive. We just saw the Bucks this week. We're going to talk about that game when we get to Chicago at Bucks. I mean, Bucks just laying it on thick, and the Patriots just laying it on thick. We haven't even seen the Packers just lay it on thick offensively this season. And we're already kind of starting to get towards kind of the middle of the season. This week 8 would be kind of, the midpoint of the season, but now we got an extra game, so call it, week 9, if you will. But either way, we'll see what the Packers are all about. But let's start finishing talking up this Washington football team. And then in the fourth quarter, they're down 24-7. They have an opportunity to try and get back in the game, and then we get the interception, and then Green Bay has a fumble, which once again kind of puts you in the game, but then they can only result into a field goal. So, and at that point, kind of game's over with only 5 minutes, down 14. So Washington had every opportunity to kind of win this game, and they blew it because Taylor Heinicke, who we thought it was a gamer, we saw him diving for the pylon against the Bucks in the wild card game last year in the playoffs, and now he's kind of cowarding on the goal line. We'll break him down in kind of our Wednesday film study a little bit, but man, oh man, Taylor Heinicke truly disappointing. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, we think you should have started over Ryan Fitzpatrick, but Ryan Fitzpatrick would have dived for that end zone. And the worst thing about Taylor Heinicke kind of curling down at the 1 yard line and not reaching over for the pylon was that he wouldn't have even gotten touched. The defenders kind of gave up because they knew Taylor Heinicke was just going to walk in, but he just goes down for a bad mental mistake. Really, really inexcusable, unacceptable here by Taylor Heinicke. Big disappointing in him this week. I'm super disappointed in this man. So Taylor Heinicke goes 25 of 37. 67% completion percentage, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, the interception, not the greatest, but it came in kind of garbage time a little bit. So all that is a good stat line. It's a decent stat line by Taylor Heinicke, but his effort was not there. He was just not getting it done in the red zone. That's all it really came down to. Taylor Heinicke ran 10 times for 95 yards. Antonio Gibson, 14 carries for 51 yards. DeAndre Carter got 1 touch for 27 yards as well. Taylor Heinicke, who was he throwing to? Terry McLaurin, classic there. 7 catches for 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones, their great tight end, 6 catches for 51 yards. Adam Humphries, 3 catches, 36 yards. J.D. McKissick, 4 catches, 34 yards. And then Dax Mullane, 2 catches for 16 yards. So just overall, great job by the Packers defense of getting it done in the red zone. That's really what it came down to. Packers defense stepping up, Washington offense floundering big time. That's what it came down to, and the Packers are able to get the win. All right, Aaron Rodgers goes 27 of 35. Another solid game by Aaron Rodgers, like always. 27 of 35, 77% completion percentage, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Very well done. Running game was really non-existent here for the Packers. Aaron Jones, 6 carries for only 19 yards. Aaron Rodgers ran it twice and had 17 yards. So, and then A.J. Dillon, 3 carries for 6 yards. So the running game was truly non-existent here for the Packers. And who was Aaron Rodgers throwing to? Well, we had Devontae Adams, 6 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown, doing Devontae Adams things out here. Robert Tonyan, 4 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown. Alan Lazard, 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. Mercedes Lewis, 3 catches, 31 yards. Randall Cobb, 2 catches, 22 yards. Aaron Jones, 5 catches for 20 yards. So Aaron Rodgers spreading the ball all around, hitting 3 different targets for 3 different touchdowns. Fantastic. And they're able to get it done in the red zone and win the game because of that. So real bad performance offensively and disappointing in Taylor Heinicke, folks. Got to be a baller, got to lay it all out on the line, got to dive for those end zones, and he just could not get it done. They lose 24-10. And then after the game, Aaron Rodgers puts it perfectly, folks. He calls it, hey, we're kind of a scrappy team, and that's what they are. They will claw, they will fight, they will win the close games, and that's the best thing we've seen about the Packers so far this season. They've won the close games. They've never blown out a team. team. So they were in a dogfight every single week against kind of the worser teams, against the Steelers, against Washington. They weren't blowing them out. They weren't kind of going into halftime like the Patriots were, like the Bucks were saying, hey, we won, like the Titans were going up 27-0. They would never go into halftime thinking, all right, we don't even need to show up anymore because we're up like 5 possessions here. They're not even going to get 5 chances offensively. So this Packers team, Aaron Rodgers kind of says once again the offense was a little disappointing, but we're kind of a scrappy team, and that sums it up perfectly right here. So when this Packers team is in a dogfight here, Week 17, Week 18, wild card game, division championships, I think they've been building the groundwork right here to get those wins. So this could be exactly what the Packers need to finally get back to the Super Bowl, getting down dirty, getting down to the nitty gritty, letting Aaron Rodgers just kind of fling it around and be the scorer when he needs to be in the clutch time. And just other than that, the defense keeping it close, the offense moving the ball decently throughout the game, putting up some decent points, but then just getting it done and winning out the game, closing it down, not getting scored on in the red zone, not allowing touchdowns in the red zone, I should say, and getting it done. So we'll see if this is it. Is this the first kind of gritty kind of is this the first kind of scrappy team Aaron Rodgers has been a part of? Is this what Aaron Rodgers has been missing the whole time, being scrappy out here? Scrappy-doo? We'll see. So they're 6-1. They play Thursday. We'll see if they are still scrappy on a short turnaround. We'll see how they go in that game. So Packers get the win 24-10. Alrighty, next game up here in a heartbreaking loss again by this Dolphins team, losing by a field goal at the last second. They lose 30-28 to this Falcons team, but once again, this has nothing to do with Tua. Tua is looking real gosh dang good. Now, the interceptions, a little bit of bonehead plays, but what happens after the interceptions? I mean, he comes right back at it, and then he went down on 2 touchdown drives in the fourth quarter, down 13 points, and goes down and takes a 1-point lead. And just unfortunately, the defense only has 2 minutes really to defend, can't let him get a field goal, and the defense flounders. So once again, this is not Tua, folks. It is not Tua. He needs to clean up the interceptions, but the fact that he's able to bounce back from those turnovers really every single time, we just saw it last week as well through the interception. What happened? Touchdown drive just to make up for it. Throws 2 interceptions here. The first interception, he didn't have a chance to kind of, make up for it because it was the end of half on their next one. But then his second interception, he comes back and scores a touchdown right off of that, and then makes up for it once the Falcons fumble. He goes down and takes the ball with 5 minutes left and goes down and scores a touchdown. So this man is clutch. He's able to put those bad mistakes behind him. I mean, we see Sam Darnold throws an interception, can't even throw a touchdown after. We see, Zach Wilson does the same thing, but that's a little bit of a different situation. But I mean, we're seeing these other quarterbacks that everybody loves to kind of talk about. It says, oh no, we can believe in them, we can believe in them, look at this one play, we can believe off of just this one play alone, and then they all clown Tua. It makes no sense. It honestly makes no sense to clown Tua this much. It makes no sense to me. Everybody's clowning them. Dolphin fans are clowning them for absolutely no reason. The man had another superb game that the defense, who we have a defensive minded coach at the head coaching position, can't lock in for one stop. Now, granted, Matt Ryan threw an absolutely perfect ball, and we'll break this down in our Wednesday film study to break down Tua a little bit, to once again just make our case, because we're the only ones screaming that Tua is a really good, viable, winnable quarterback. I say he's a little bit of an accurate passer than Lamar Jackson is overall, just pure passing wise. I see this in Tua, so we'll once again break it all down for y'all, because once again he's getting clowned in the media saying that they should trade for Deshaun Watson and that they need to move off of Tua. How absolutely absurd is this, folks? And it makes no sense when everybody supports Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold and all these other bad quarterbacks like this. It just honestly, it makes no sense to me, and it's frustrating from my aspect because these people are getting paid millions of dollars to be on talk sports on TV, and they're saying Tua can't play, and I'm over here, I'm not getting paid anything for this, not yet. We'll see if that changes. We'll see. Patreon.com/takesbyfans, $5 a month, folks. That's all we're asking for. But yeah, I mean, we see Tua and we're watching him and we're showing y'all, hey, this is not Tua. This is literally everybody else on the Dolphins. It's not Tua single-handedly. Not even by a mile. And, everybody on the national media is like, oh, he's trash. You need to trade him. You need to move off of him. You got to draft somebody this season, this offseason, blah, blah. It makes no sense. But let's digress a little bit. So let's talk about Tua. Good performance here. Once again, scoring out of the gate here. First drive touchdown. Fantastic. Then the blocked field goal kind of, hurts us a little bit as well. Then we get the interception. Leads to only 3 points, though. And then the interception off the Atlanta interception, once again, just unacceptable by Tua throwing the interceptions here, but he's able to make up for it, which is great. The first interception, not 100% his fault. The thought was there. He was trying to hit the tight end, Adam Shaheen, in the end zone. He got the ball over the linebacker, but he was kind of double covered. The corner comes and jumps the route, so it was good thinking by Tua there. Just unfortunately, I don't know if he saw the second defender or thought he could squeeze it in a really tight window. Once again, we're going to break all this down on Wednesday, folks, so don't worry. We'll show y'all. So the first interception I don't think was bad. The second interception was bad. Threw a flat-footed, just kind of lobbed it while he was getting hit over the middle of the field, and that was just an easy pick for the linebacker to pick off. So, but then, once again, just coming back. I mean, we're down 13 points with 12 minutes left, and he takes 2 touchdown drives. That's what Tua can do when you let this man loose and let him open it up. I mean, just look at this last touchdown drive. 17-yard pass. 16-yard pass, 4-yard touchdown pass, Tua going down the field, opening it up and throwing the balls, and then this touchdown pass after the interception thrown by Tua, 18-yard pass, 27-yard pass, 9-yard pass, 11-yard pass, 1-yard pass, and then it's a 7-yard pass to the tight end for the touchdown. So it's Tua actively going out there. We're not relying on the running game. We have no running game. We're not relying on Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is trash. We're relying on Tua to go down the field, and I feel like that's when the play calls open up, and that's the problem for the Dolphins. Let Tua work. Let this man go down the field. Open up the offense. Don't be so conservative on the first couple of possessions. I mean, the first touchdown drive goes 16 plays. 16 plays with a 17-yard pass by Tua. And then everything's kind of a little bit more conservative down there. But let this man open it up. He's proven it time and time again. And you only let this man open it up when we get down big because the defense can't, force the offense off the field to save their life in key situations. So just let Tua work. I feel like the Dolphins are letting the outside media influence their decision on what Tua actually is. So let's break down these stats here. Here we go. Tua goes 32 of 40, folks. 32 of 40. Absolutely fantastic. 80% completion percentage. 291 yards. 4 touchdowns. He did throw those 2 interceptions. Once again, got to clean those up. But running the ball, Myles Gaskin back. Thank goodness we're reestablishing the run here. 15 carries for 67 yards. Finally getting back on tap. 2 of 4 rushes for 29 yards. And Tua, please stop. You're not a dual threat quarterback. He's very, very slow, folks. He does not have any good speed about him. And he doesn't, run, when it's not necessary. But when you run, just take off and go. He does this kind of hesitation, and we're going to show that as well. He does the same move. It worked on the first one, so he kept it up. It's looking one way and then faking and then coming back and going the other way. And we'll break it down, folks. We'll watch it all. But he was using that move every single time. Just go and run. You're already too slow. You juking. You don't have the acceleration to come out of that juke and pick up the extra 3-4 yards needed to reach the first down. Just take it, tuck it, and run. Tuck it and run. That's all you have to do. Stop with the pump fake. It doesn't work. It's not working. You're not getting any extra yards. Your acceleration does not allow you to do this. And then who was Tua throwing to? We got Mike Gesicki, 7 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. Once again, Devontae Parker out, the number 1 wide receiver here for the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle still being very productive here, 7 catches for 83 yards. Durham Smythe, 3 catches, 37 yards. Salvin Ahmed, 2 catches, 26 yards. Adam Shaheen, 4 catches, 23 yards. Mac Hollins, 2 catches, 13 yards. Isaiah Ford, 1 catch, 10 yards. 1 touchdown as well. So, Tua getting it done, looking real good. We'll defend him again on Wednesday Film Study, folks. We'll also watch this Falcons team because Matt Ryan was making some exceptional throws exactly when he needed to. So this was not all on the Dolphins defense being bad. Matt Ryan, I mean, he shows glimpses. This is why he's still a starting quarterback in this league, folks. He makes these amazing passes right here. And I'll tell y'all which one it is if y'all want to watch it yourself, but we'll watch it on Wednesday. It's this one right. Oh, man. Actually, yeah, it was this one. It was Matt Ryan, 28-yard pass to Kyle Pitts on the sideline. It was immaculate, folks. 100% on the money, and it really kind of opened up the game-winning field goal for the Falcons. So I still give credit to Matt Ryan. He goes 25 of 40. That completion percentage up here, 25 of 40. We got 62%, decently good there. 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He made up for the interception off of the Dolphins' interception, going down and scoring a touchdown. So very well done, Matt Ryan there. Running game, Cordell Patterson. This man is coming alive, folks. Now we're finally starting to see what Cordell Patterson could do as a running back. He was never really a wide receiver or running back in his career. And now with Arthur Smith, and he has his hooks in him. You know, Arthur Smith with the Titans last season, the last 2 seasons with Derrick Henry. And now he's getting Cordell Patterson alive. This may be a turning point for the Falcons, folks. Their defense needs to get 100% better. But if their offense can start putting up like 30 points a game, maybe they can just get by their defense being not the greatest and maybe squeeze into the playoffs here. This could be a potential turnaround for the Falcons. We'll see what they have up next week. Who do they have up next week? They're 3-3 right now. Let's quickly see who the Falcons have next week. Because this could be the start of something turnaround here for this Falcons team. Once again, we have to start kind of shifting our mind to now we're at kind of the midway. We're starting to get kind of towards the midway point in the season. The first kind of quarter of the season is over, starting to head into the kind of bulk of the second quarter, third quarter of the season here, where teams are getting themselves right here. And once again, first time head coach here for the Falcons, so obviously they would need a couple of games, couple of weeks to get everything right. And now you just keep moving forward. So Falcons this upcoming week have the Panthers, and they're at home. This is the time for the Falcons to truly show what they are all about here. And I think we may be taking the Falcons this week, folks. We'll see. All right, so Cordell Patterson, 14 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Mike Davis only getting 4 carries for 10 yards. And then who was Matt Ryan throwing to? Kyle Pitts, 7 catches for 163 yards. Tight end day out here, truly showing out. Russell Gage, 4 catches for 67 yards, a touchdown. Hayden Hurst, 3 catches, 35 yards. Calvin Ridley, 4 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Tajay Sharp, 2 catches, 18 yards. So real solid work here by the Falcons offense, getting it done exactly when they needed to and beat the Dolphins 30-28. So I think we're gonna be interested in this Falcons team moving forward. We think this could be the turning point. This could be the turning point. So well done for the Falcons getting the win there, staying in the game, taking advantage. Matt Ryan, some amazing passes down the stretch right there. They win 30-28. Alrighty, next game up here is the Bengals at the Ravens, and man, oh man, shame on us. We've taken the Bengals in our bonus pick the last 2 weeks. We stayed away from it this week with the plus 6.5, and shame on us. The value was there the entire time, so missed out on it. The Bengals absolutely blow out the Ravens 41-17. The Bengals did what the Ravens did to the Chargers last week. So you get a team, and then you get got the next week, and that's exactly what happened to this Ravens team. Sheesh, and this was close. This was close, folks. Bengals get out first, score 3-0. Ravens tied up kind of at the end of the first quarter, 3-3. But then in the second quarter, the Bengals come alive and never look back. This is their drives in the second quarter, folks. Punt, but then they go touchdown, field goal, touchdown coming out of halftime, touchdown again. They have an interception, but then on the following drive, touchdown. They win 41-17. So really, once they got going, the offense was not turning it off, not turning it back, and never disappointing again. So this Bengals team is the real deal. They're now the top of the division after beating this Ravens team. They're both at 5-2, but obviously they had the head-to-head matchup here. So well done to this Bengals team, folks. So let's start talking about what they did. Holy cow. Joe Burrow goes 23 of 38. 23 of 38, 60% completion percentage. So we still have to see they're putting up the numbers and they're putting up the yards, which is good. Now we just have to see some consistency in the passing game all throughout. We've got to see kind of Joe Burrow tighten up the completion percentage a little bit. But other than that, this is a real legitimate team. Zach Taylor was not kidding. What did we read the quote 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when he was like, hey, we are the real deal here. And here they are being the real deal. So absolutely great by Joe Burrow. 416 yards, immaculate, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interception came in the third quarter, but the Ravens couldn't do anything with it. Now, the only bad thing here is that they were going to score points. It was 3rd and goal from the Ravens 16-yard line. So, and it was only 27-17 at this point, only a 10-point kind of lead here. So the Ravens could have taken that interception with an entire 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter to really turn around the game a little bit. Fortunately for the Bengals, the Ravens go 3 and out after the interception, and then they get Joe Burrow leads them on a nice 38-yard touchdown drive to get it done, making up for that interception. So overall, yes, there's some mistakes here and there, but for the most part, this Bengals team is all about it. And now this Bengals team can shift in kind of, the middle of the season gear where they're just shoring everything up and getting it done more consistently. So watch out for this Bengals team, folks. They are now officially the real deal, and we'll see how they kind of continue to grow with all this kind of pressure on them. The national media is on them 100% now, 100%. I mean, watch out for the tweets, watch out for the segments, everybody kind of, praising the Bengals. Let's see how they handle it. Still, some young players on this team. Ja'Marr Chase, obviously young. I don't think it's going to affect them because, obviously, if those drops in the preseason weren't affecting them, I don't see anything kind of affecting them here. Joe Burrow, 2nd year. Zach Taylor, third year, whatever it is. So still a young team. Never had the spotlight on them. Now they had the spotlight on them, division lead and all that. And the Bengals, they had the Jets this week. They're on the road. So, do they look past it? I don't think they do, but we'll see. We'll start tracking this Bengals team now that they've got the pressure, now that they're kind of the team to beat. We'll see if they can continue to get it done. And when the teams are kind of, chomping at the bit to get their hooks on you, that's why it's hard to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Everybody's got the tape on you. You're the team to beat. Everybody wants to beat you. Now you're at the top of your division. Kind of the same thinking there. Not at the scale of the Super Bowl champions, but still on a scale measurable. Alrighty, the running game. Joe Mixon, give this man more credit. Once again, still it's not just Joe Burrow slinging it around. It's Joe Mixon truly getting it done. 12 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. Once again, solid running here by Joe Mixon. 5 yards a carry. Absolutely fantastic. And this is who Joe Burrow was throwing to. Only 5 players. Only 5 players got targets all game, folks. How crazy. Only using 5 people out here to put up 41 points and 400 yards. Everybody was basically given 100 yards. Ja'Marr Chase took 200 yards. So basically everybody was putting up 100 yards right here. Ja'Marr Chase, 8 receptions for 201 yards and a touchdown. Folks, this man is the real deal. Obviously, yes, we were wrong. I see y'all in my YouTube comments. Those videos are still getting kind of played every single day. I get it, folks. We overreacted to the drops of Ja'Marr Chase in the preseason, in the offseason. I get it. But what were we supposed to say? That he was going to get it done? We haven't seen the man in a year. He opted out of the 2020 season. So, yes, he proved us wrong. Thank goodness. We didn't want to be right about that. But here we are being wrong, and we couldn't be happier. So Ja'Marr Chase, 200-yard game. I think there was only one other receiver with a 200-yard game, and that came, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago with Devontae Adams with the 200-plus yard game. And now rookie Ja'Marr Chase is doing it as well. Y'all just are calling Devontae Adams the best receiver in the league. That's what y'all are saying. Ja'Marr Chase, 200 yards again, or 200 yards as well. So, man, oh man, this dude, folks, sheesh. And I know we've all seen the touchdown pass that he had, breaking out of the 3 tackles and going off for the touchdown, 70-plus yards. I mean, immaculate, folks, immaculate. And then CJ Uzomah, 3 catches for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 7 catches, 62 yards. Tyler Boyd, 4 catches, 39 yards. And then Samaje Perine, 1 catch for 23 yards. So, sheesh, folks, they've got it going. They truly have it all going good. And then with this Ravens team, just unfortunately, just could not score. They put up some nice yards, but they just could not score the ball. Turnovers on downs. That's really it, and just could not keep up offensive pace right there of putting up 41 points. So here we go. Lamar Jackson goes 15 of 31, which is basically 50%, a little under 50% right there. Let's get the exact number. 15 of 31, 48% completion percentage for Lamar Jackson. 257 yards, though, 1 touchdown. Rushing the ball, Lamar Jackson, leading rusher, no surprise there. 12 carries for 88 yards. Devontae Freeman, 4 carries for 14 yards, a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, 5 carries for only 5 yards. Tyson Williams, 2 carries for only 10 yards. So the running game besides Lamar Jackson did not get established. And then Lamar Jackson, who was he throwing the ball to? Marquise Brown, leading receiver here, 5 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 3 catches for 80 yards. Fantastic. Like seeing this rookie get involved a lot more here. Mark Andrews, 3 catches, 48 yards. Josh Oliver, 2 catches, 29 yards. Devontae Freeman, 3 catches, 25 yards. Tyson Williams, 2 catches, 24 yards. Devin Duvernay, 1 catch for 11 yards. So just unfortunately, this Ravens team could not put up any points here, could not move the ball as efficiently as the Bengals were, and they had it close, folks. Like we said, 20-17, 27-17, and then the turnover on downs give the Bengals easy field position to score touchdowns. So you kind of take the final 14 points away, and it's kind of a 27-17 game overall. Don't get kind of too bogged down with the entire 41-point blowout here for this Bengals team. So this Ravens team, no cause for concern, no reason to jump ship, just unfortunately had a tough opponent in this Bengals division rival as well, and the Ravens just weren't able to kind of score the ball, unfortunately. So Bengals a great team, and this Ravens team is still good. We're not moving off the Ravens here, off this loss. So both 5-2 at the top of their division. Bengals had the tiebreaker. Alrighty, next game up here is the Lions at the Rams. Rams get the big old win here, 28-19, but a nice aggressive game here by the Lions, but it comes down to Jared Goff in the red zone, and that's kind of why the Rams got rid of him. He wasn't able to close out those games and win those games, and they had the opportunity to win this huge game here. Obviously, all the storylines of, Stafford and Jared Goff obviously facing their former team and all that. Lions looking for their first win, coming out of the gate swinging big time, and Jared Goff just could not put the exclamation point on it. So, give credit to this Lions team. They come out first drive and score a touchdown, and then they go for the onside kick and get it. And then they go for the fake punt because it was 4th and 7, and they fake punt and get it. And then they're able to score 3 points off of it and go up 10-0. So, that aggressive nature, that was great by Dan Campbell, and it was exactly what was needed to beat this Rams team. It kept them in the game. They're up 13-3 at the end of the first quarter. Rams come down and score 2 back-to-back touchdowns, taking the lead 17-13. But then the Lions get another field goal. Once again, Jared Goff kind of struggling down here, not able to punch it in for a touchdown, and they make it a 16-17 1-point deficit going into halftime. They get the lead. They lose the lead. They get down. Then they lose the lead 25-19. And then this is what we're talking about right here. The start of the fourth quarter here, down only 6 points here. So a touchdown, it gives you the lead with the extra point. It gives you the lead. And then you just have to rely on your defense. Obviously not the easiest thing to do. But, Jared Goff goes on a 17-play, 73-yard, 9-minute drive that results into Jared Goff throwing a pick with 5 minutes left. We could watch the pick right here, folks. Let's watch this one, because it's tough right here. Once again, Jared Goff trying to get it done. Once again, against the Bears. Lions against the Bears a couple of weeks ago. Jared Goff multiple times in the red zone. Just the offense not able to get it done. And here it is again when the game is kind of on the line. Down 6 points, 25-19. 5 minutes left, and they're at the Rams 11-12 yard line on 2nd and 10. And what does Jared Goff do? He throws an interception right here. Now, under center, drops back the pass. Not a lot of time to throw throw this ball. Pressure's coming up the middle. Nothing really open, but Jared Goff just kind of throws it as he was getting hit, and Jalen Ramsey makes an amazing interception where he's leaping in the air, and this ices the game right here. The Rams go down and score a field goal, make it a 2-possession game with under 4 minutes left, and it's game over from that. Really only a minute left, I think. So just unfortunate. Jared Goff not able to truly close out a game. Why Sean McVay got rid of him, why he's on the Lions, and truly unfortunate. So Jared Goff goes 22 of 36. Let's get that completion percentage up. 22 of 36. Once again, only 61%. Nothing great. 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. First interception came in the fourth quarter that we just saw, and then this interception here, last play of the game, nothing really, we're not going to really count that. This is the only interception, the one that we just watched, the one that we really care about because it was game on the line right there. So Jared Goff, once again, another disappointing performance, even though his stats are okay overall. Good yardage right there. Did he outthrow Matthew Stafford? No, Matthew Stafford had 334 yards. All right. Running game here for the Lions. We got Jamal Williams, 12 carries for 57 yards. DeAndre Swift to 13 carries for 48 yards. That was good. That was the good part about this Lions team. The running game was good all game. Just Jared Goff could not win them the game. Why they didn't win the Super Bowl. Unfortunate. Couldn't get it done with Jared Goff. All right, who was he throwing to? Khalif Raymond, leading receiver for the Lions, 6 receptions, 115 yards. DeAndre Swift, 8 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown, getting it done in both aspects, running and receiving here, running back. TJ Hawkinson, 6 catches for 48 yards, and then we had 1 catch by Bobby Price for 17 yards. So just focusing on tight end and, running back out there. Not a lot of receivers to go to, not a lot of weapons for Jared Goff. We understand that, but still have to find a way to win this game as well. All right, and then Matthew Stafford goes 28 of 41 for 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's the difference right there. Matthew Stafford didn't throw an interception in the red zone. They basically win the game. This is kind of a one-possession game, folks, honestly. Just unfortunately, Jared Goff couldn't get it done. So Matthew Stafford goes 28 of 41 for 68% completion percentage for the 334 yards. Darrell Henderson, the running back out here for the Rams, 15 carries for 45 yards. Sony Michel, only 2 carries for 4 yards. And then who was Matthew Stafford throwing to? Obviously, Cooper Kupp, 10 catches for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. This man is getting it done every single game, and still nobody can stop him. Absolutely insane. Robert Woods, 6 catches for 70 yards. Tyler Higbee, 5 catches for 46 yards. Von Jefferson, 4 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown. Getting it done there, Matthew Stafford. So overall, Stafford does exactly what he needs to do out here. I mean, they were scoring at a really good pace right here. Whenever they got the ball in the first half, they scored the ball. They didn't get their first drive because of the onside kick. But when they finally got the ball, 3 points, and then they go on 2 straight touchdown drives to score every single drive in the first half. And then they punt first drive, turnover on downs, then touchdown, field goal, and then that's the end of the game there. So Rams kind of scoring at a nice pace up here. Getting it done whenever they had the ball. So our concerns of Matthew Stafford's batting completions, he didn't really have any for the most part of this game where he just didn't see it. So that was great by Matthew Stafford, and they get it done when they needed it to. So they win 28-19. Jared Goff flounders a little bit. Unfortunate. Alrighty, next game up here is the Eagles at the Raiders, and once again, like we just said, folks, this Eagles offense is just not ready to keep up pace offensively. They put up 7 points basically in the first 3 quarters. That was it. They put up 15 points in the fourth quarter when the game was really over at that point because they were down. What do we have the score at? They were down 30-7. With 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's kind of game over at that point. Eagles can make it a little interesting, but at the end of the day, it's garbage time because it's still a 2-possession loss out here. So this Eagles offense, they just need to get out to the better start. They got out to a 7-0 first quarter start, which is great, but it's got to be consistent scoring pace, and the Eagles offense is not there yet, like we've been saying. So unfortunate loss here, 33-22 officially here by this Eagles team. So let's start here with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Jalen Hurts goes 18 of 34. That is 50% completion, 52% completion percentage, 236 yards. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Got out to that good drive here. 10 plays, 62 yards, goes for a touchdown. Running game, Jalen Hurts, 13 carries for 61 yards. Miles Sanders, 6 carries for 30 yards. Boston Scott, because Miles Sanders unfortunately gets a little banged up in this game. Boston Scott goes 7 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell goes 5 carries for 20 yards as well. Who's Jalen Hurts throwing to? We got Dallas Goedert, leading receiver here for the Eagles, 3 catches for 70 yards. Devontae Smith, 5 catches for 61 yards, targeted 9 times though. Oof. Kenneth Gainwell, 4 catches for 41 yards, and then Quez Watkins, 2 catches for 37 yards, and Jalen Reagor, 2 catches for 25 yards and a touchdown. Just unfortunate, like we said, I mean, look at these drives after the touchdown drive. They don't do anything with the interception. 9 plays, 22 yards, have to punt. Next drive, 12 plays, 31 yards, punt. Then they fumble the ball. Then it's halftime, out of halftime, 7 plays, 22 yards, punt. Another fumble here. Who's doing all these fumbles? We had Jalen Hurts losing a fumble, Kenneth Gainwell losing a fumble, and this is a relatively winnable game. You're only down 17-7 going into halftime, but then the Raiders pile it on with 2 touchdowns out of the third quarter, out of halftime, and that's what we love about this Raiders team, folks. Rich Bisaccia not holding this team back, folks. We told you the stat last week where the Raiders put up 34 points first game with Rich Bisaccia as the head coach. John Gruden only put up 34 or more points in a game 5 times in a 3.5-year span, folks. So Rich Bisaccia getting it done. And we have this new stat here because they just put up 33 points. So the Raiders have put up 33 or more points in back-to-back games only once under John Gruden. Rich Bisaccia has just done it his first 2 games. 34 points, his first game, 33 points just last night, and they were ultra conservative in this fourth quarter, folks. They could have put up more points here. They settled for the field goal. They were just chewing off some time. They didn't need a score, so this team could have put up, once again, more than 34 points. So John Gruden was holding this offense back. We've been saying this the entire year, folks, going back to last season. This is what we've been saying. And finally, Rich Bisaccia has this team playing loosey-goosey, because look at Derek Carr's stats right here. They are immaculate, folks. 31 of 34, 90% completion percentage by Derek Carr without Darren Waller, folks. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let me quickly look at Derek Carr's stats, because I don't think he ever had this good of a game under John Gruden, folks. I want to kind of see some of these game logs. Let me go back these last 3 years with Derek Carr, folks. I want to see a 91% completion percentage performance on 30-plus throws. This is what I want to see. So let's go back 3 years with John Gruden, starting in 2018. Here we go. We had 90% on one game on 32 throws. Okay, so that's one. We get another 91% game? No. All right, then year 2 under John Gruden, no other 91% completion percentage game by Derek Carr. And then what do we got here? Year 3, just last season, no 91%. So once again, Rich Bisaccia is getting it done with this Raiders offense. Not just with the Raiders offense, but also with just Derek Carr at the helm, folks. Rich Bisaccia is having the same offensive output than John Gruden did his entire 4 years with the Raiders in just 2 games. It's absolutely fantastic, folks. 91% completion percentage for 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw the interception, unfortunate, and the Eagles weren't able to do anything with it or anything close to it for the rest of the game. So honestly, that interception, we don't even really care about it. So Derek Carr is playing at his best. No Darren Waller, still getting it done. John Gruden would not be doing this with Derek Carr, as we have seen. We've seen it already, not getting it done with Derek Carr. Alrighty, the rushing attack with the Raiders, once again, love it. Kenyon Drake getting the bulk of the work here, and I love that as well, because we know Kenyon Drake is a real serviceable running back, could be a number 1 running back on any team given, folks. Kenyon Drake, leading rusher here, 14 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 6 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. Who was Derek Carr throwing to without Darren Waller? And truly unfortunate with Darren Waller couldn't participate at tight end day. Truly unfortunate. But Foster Moreau, 6 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Renfrow, 7 catches for 58 yards. Zay Jones, 1 catch, 43 yards. Brian Edwards, 3 catches, 43 yards, a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 3 catches, 39 yards. Alec Ingold, 1 catch, 29 yards. Henry Ruggs, 4 catches, 24 yards. Jalen Richard, 3 catches, 17 yards. And Kenyon Drake, 3 catches for 10 yards. Literally just hitting everybody on the team, not just dinking and dunking, not going to your tight ends, anything like that, using your full complement of offense. That's how you move the ball. That's how you win the game. That's how they won the game. That's how they put up 33 points. Rich Bisaccia, we tip the cap to thee. We tip the cap to thee. Truly that. Not holding this team back like John Gruden was, thank goodness. And who would have thought, folks, right? This is what we talk about when we're talking about why have the room for bigotry, why be small-minded. This is why we have to get, the racists and the bigots. This is why there's no place for them, because they don't know what they're talking about, folks, when they say, oh, this minority group is stupid, or these people don't know what they're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know John Gruden, because this offense is better than your offense, and it's only 2 games without you, and it's already better because we have differing opinions. It's not just whatever you say is the best thing because you're white and you know all. Obviously you don't. So this is why you get input from other people, from other walks of life, from other ways of thinking, because it makes the team better. He was holding the team back, and obviously now we have the full. This is all the data we need to officially market. John Gruden doesn't know what he's talking about. John Gruden's a trash coach. John Gruden is just a trash person for thinking it's only white people that know football. Obviously not here. They're doing better without you. Jeez. So all you racists and bigots out there, your thinking is wrong. Your thinking is just wrong. Obviously, you just look to the Raiders. This should really end racism in America, honestly. Just looking at what the Raiders are doing right here, right now. Raiders win, folks, 33-22. We'll leave it at that. And then Raiders interim coach Rich Bisaccia calls Derek Carr's pretty close to the next level after stellar week 7 performance. This man's at the next level. So Rich Bisaccia, don't get a little bit too big out here and be like, okay, now I'm the reason. I'm start belittling everybody else. Don't get into that, because we already knew Derek Carr was next level, not pretty close to next level. He is next level. So loving what this Raiders team is all about, folks. Truly great. All right, then we get the Texans at the Cardinals, and we don't even have to talk about the Texans because they put up 5 points and couldn't do anything. And once again, they could have maybe done something because were they at 5-0? They were up 5-0. They could have done something, but Davis Mills in the offense, once again, like we know, cannot move the ball consistently. Davis Mills goes 23 of 32 for 135 yards. Nothing good there. No touchdown, no pick. Can't move the ball consistently. Running the ball here, still not getting it done. David Johnson, 7 carries for 25 yards. Mark Ingram, 6 carries for 9 yards. Phillip Lindsay, 2 carries for 9 yards. So cannot move the ball at all here. So we can just focus on the Cardinals here. Kyler Murray being amazing, spectacular, fantastic, immaculate, whatever you want to call him. 20 of 28. Let's get the completion percentage up. 20 of 28. 71% on 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. Unfortunately, let's see where this interception came from. And he did take a sack. He got sacked in the end zone for a safety. So 2 little unfortunate plays, but they come back and win the game. The interception came in the third quarter when they were already up 24-5, and the Texans go 5 and out, only 6 yards. So nothing bad here by Kyler Murray. Looking real gosh dang good. The running game, I'm a true believer now. Remember, we knew this was a dual running back by committee here. Chase Edmonds, James Conner, they both were embracing it. We read the articles all off season, and now I am firm true believers in this running back by committee. Chase Edmonds, 15 carries for 81 yards. James Conner, 10 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I love to see right there. Absolutely fantastic. And then Kyler Murray takes off 6 times for 10 yards. And who was Kyler Murray throwing to? A.J. Green, 3 receptions for 66 yards, led the team in receiving. Zach Ertz, first game out here for Arizona, 3 catches for 66 yards, and he scored a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 7 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. Christian Kirk, 4 receptions for 50 yards and a touchdown himself. And Rondale Moore, 2 catches for 17 yards. So literally getting every weapon into the game every single week here by Kyler Murray in this offense. Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray deserve all the credit here. So a big old shutout win. Oh, not a shutout, but a shutdown win here for the Cardinals, winning 31-5. And then after the game, good news here for the Texans. So we could still buy this Texans team hitting end of next week because Texans head coach David Culley says Tyrod Taylor will return to practice this week, and his return his status for week 8 is to be determined. So we could get Tyrod Taylor next week, and that really should turn around this offense because we believe in Tyrod Taylor with this offense. It's just Davis Mills, the rookie, can't get it going. 3rd round rookie can't get it going. Classic. So can't wait to see Tyrod Taylor back. And then, just watching Kyler Murray all game last night. I mean, let's just highlight this throw. 3rd and 24. They're up 7-5. So this was still when the game is close, folks. At midfield, 3rd and 24. 3rd and 24. This is why, the Texans defense trashed last week against the Colts, giving up the big plays, losing them the game because of that. Once again, same thing here. So Texans defense is really, really bad. They get the big plays thrown on them. And here it is, 3rd and 24. Kyler Murray, plenty of time to throw, and throws this ball absolutely immaculately amazing, fantastic, whatever you want to call it. Look at this. Look at this ball right here over the one defender right before the safety coming down, and just look at how pinpoint accurate. You see how tough of a window this is to get this ball in here, and he's chucking this one like 50 yards downfield. I think it's like 45 yards officially in the air. Just look at this tight window that he snuck this ball in here, folks. Absolutely fantastic. Let me go back a little bit. I had a better frame. Let me break this down. I gotta go quick here, frame by frame. Here we go. Let me see if I can get it here. 2 quick clicks. Oh, man. Breaking it. I want to pause it right here. Oh, my goodness. I just missed it. Here we go. Right here. Right there. Look at this. Oh, my God. Look at how close that defender is from knocking the ball away. But Kyler Murray puts it so much on the money. And it goes to A.J. Green, which is just another boost right there because, A.J. Green, great with the Bangles and now great here again with the Cardinals. Just need a good quarterback once again. Andy Dalton, no knock on you, but A.J. Green is even better without you because you were the problem. Once again, Andy Dalton and John Gruden both holding their team backs, but for different reasons. Is this right here. I got to take a screenshot of this right here, folks. This needs to be a canvas. This could be a canvas. We may have some mid-season changes in our canvas, or maybe just next year, whatever we decide. But this should be one right here. This is amazing by Kyler Murray, which prompted us to tweet this out. Is young Kyler Murray better than young Russell Wilson? Because remember, folks, Russell Wilson was getting talked about exactly like Patrick Mahomes was, getting compared to Brady, the greatest of all time. Now Kyler Murray is gonna get into that category, so I prompted this question: young Kyler Murray greater than young Russell Wilson? Yes or nah? Recency bias. And out of 16 votes, y'all are deadlocked 50-50 here, so I have to be the tiebreaker. So I am going to say yes, Kyler Murray is better than Russell Wilson. Young Kyler Murray is better than young Russell Wilson at this point. Just pure ball passing, man, oh man. And I know Russell Wilson's great, and this is not a knock on any of these quarterbacks out here, but Kyler Murray is something special. I think he's he is the MVP right now after unfortunate Lamar Jackson last week. Or yesterday, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Kyler Murray is the MVP. This man is making it work 1,000,000,000%. And I know he's got great receivers, but he is putting this ball exactly where they need to be. It's not like the receivers are bailing him out. The receivers are getting decently open, but he is putting it at 100% on the money, like we see it right here. So Kyler Murray, I am fortunately the decider here. I see what all the fans are saying here. That's why it's called Takes by Fans. So I left it up to the fans, and there's still 4 hours to vote, folks. So if you see this, hear this, whatever you want to vote, unfortunately right now we are gonna rule the hammer on it that we are the decision breaker, and we will say yes. We vote yes. So Cardinals, man, they are still the number one team. I know we do power rankings tomorrow, but they are still the number one team. They win 31-5. All right, last two games. Let's go over these quickly here, and we'll get out of here for today. Bears at Bucks, and once again, a blowout win for this Bucks team. And I think we've got to kind of move this Bucks team up a little bit in our power rankings because this Bucks offense, folks, is just absolutely stunning. These are their drives, folks. Let's just read their drives for the entire game. First drive, touchdown drive. Second drive, they punt. Third drive, touchdown. Fourth drive, touchdown. Next drive, we'll just say next drive. I forget the counting, folks, whatever. Next drive, punt. Next drive, missed field goal. Next drive, touchdown. Next drive, touchdown. And now we're at halftime. Finally, we're at halftime, and they've got 35 points. And then in the second half, they don't really need to do anything. They put up one field goal. They fumbled the ball. Who fumbled here? Inexcusable. What do we got? Ronald Jones. Oh, come on, Ronald Jones. That's why you lost your starting spot. I know the game wasn't close, but we still can't be turning over the ball. Also, they benched Tom Brady because when did they bench Tom Brady officially? He's still playing the first drive out of halftime. He's still playing on the fumble drive. He's still playing on the field goal drive. And then the final 8 minutes of the game, they pull Tom Brady. Alrighty, so let's start here with the Bucs. Tom Brady goes 20 of 36 for 211 yards. Completion percentage is not good, only 55%, but taking advantage of the turnovers, always great there. Tom Brady usually always does that and, getting it done. So taking advantage of what the defense gives you, I guess, truly. So 20 of 36, 55% completion percentage, 211 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Leonard Fournette, 15 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. Ronald Jones, 10 carries for 63 yards. He did fumble, unfortunately. And then who was Tom Brady throwing to? We had Chris Godwin, 8 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. Mike Evans, 6 catches, 76 yards, 3 touchdowns for Mike Evans. Jeez Louise. This is why, folks. It's just Brady now has receivers on receivers on receivers, folks. Didn't even need Antonio Brown this game. Didn't even need O.J. Howard. Didn't even need Cameron Brate. Didn't even need Rob Gronkowski. 2 receivers, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, had every yard besides maybe 30. Besides 30, I mean, it's truly... Oh, man, how can you cover all these great receivers? So, once again, this Bucs team, great. Forcing all the turnovers because Justin Fields had a really bad game. He had 5 turnovers himself, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. So, Justin Fields, real bad game. Maybe try to do a little bit too much. I mean, but you get down from the get-go. I mean, you're down 7-0 on the first 2 drives, and then the turnovers start to come because the pressure's on. You're on the road having to face this elite juggernaut in the offense. So Justin Fields goes 22 of 32, 68% completion percentage for only 184 yards on 22 completions. So dinking and dunking, no touchdown, 3 picks, absolutely awful. Running back Khalil Herbert was trying to get it done, 18 carries for 100 yards. Justin Fields took off 8 times for 30 yards. Justin Fields, who was he throwing the ball to? Cole Kmet, the tight end, leading receiver. That should tell you something. 5 receptions for 43 yards. Darnell Mooney, 2 catches for 39 yards. Khalil Herbert, running back, once again, should tell you something. 5 catches for 33 yards. Jesse James, 3 catches for 20 yards. And Allen Robinson only getting 2 catches for 16 yards. Can we get Allen Robinson, please, more involved in this offense? What are we doing out here? He was making Mitch Trubisky work, folks. Get this man the main focal point of the Bears offense. Come on, Matt Nagy, what are we doing? And then Justin Fields with the 3 fumbles, lost 2 of them. So here are the turnovers. First turnover came when they were down 7-0. In the first quarter, Tom Brady takes advantage and scores a touchdown. So 7 points off of turnover right there. Turnover number 2, they fumble the ball. Another touchdown, 14 points off of turnovers. Another fumble resulted into a missed field goal, so 3 points potentially there. Interception in the third quarter leads to another fumble. Another interception leads to a field goal. That's 17 points. So only 17 points off of turnovers. It's not the worst. I mean, off of 5 turnovers, that's not bad, but still not being able to put up your points yourself, squandering 5 drives. That's that. So bad day here by this Bears offense here, but, we thought they were. We took the Bears plus 13 in our bonus pick here, but obviously not even close, and they flounder big time here. So this Bucs team is legit, like we've known. And then the last game of the night, the Sunday night's football game. Colts at 49ers. Colts get the win here, 30-18. We didn't think this was going to happen. Colin Cowherd didn't think this was going to happen. Vegas didn't really think it would happen, but the machines did. So the machines got the best of all the kind of humanity this week, unfortunately. But the machines, I think they kind of controlled the weather. I think the machines were in a bad spot, and they had to, rig the game a little bit and have a torrential downpour, because that was really the only thing, the only main difference in this game here was the turnovers. I mean, when we look at what they did offensively, it was basically right around the same. Carson Wentz, 26 throws for 150 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo, 27 throws for 181 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 18 rushes for 107 yards running wise. Eli Mitchell, 18 carries for 107 yards. So they really matched up pace offensively, kind of to a T here. Running, passing, real equal numbers. The only main difference was the turnovers. Jimmy Garoppolo had 2 interceptions and they fumbled twice, so 4 turnovers there. And the Colts only had 2 fumbles. One lost fumble by Carson Wentz and 1 lost fumble by Jonathan Taylor. So +2 for the Colts in the turnover column, and it was a 2-possession, 12-point win. So that's basically what it came down to. If it wasn't raining, do the Colts win the game? I don't think so. I don't believe so. But obviously we don't know, and we can't really kind of think about that moving forward. But the Colts get the win, 30-18. Let's see where these turnovers came from, and then we'll get into the scores, and then we'll get out of here. But here we go. The Colts, they fumbled on their opening possession, and they got down 9-0 because of that. Then they fumble again at the end of the first quarter, but the 49ers could not get anything out of it. So out of 2 turnovers, the 49ers only cashed in for 3 points. Now let's count the 49ers turnovers and what the Colts did with this. Now the 49ers turned the ball over later in the game, so less chances to try to come back from it. First fumble results into a touchdown. Kind of going up 13-12 at halftime. Second fumble goes and results into another touchdown, 14 points. Interception results into another touchdown, 21 points, and then the last interception comes with only 2 minutes left. So off of 3 turnovers during meaningful competitive football, the Colts scored 21 points. So without turnovers, this score is kind of, 18-9, kind of, if you want to think about it that way. So this is why, once again, we're not buying this Colts team 100% now because they won this game. We're still not even buying this Colts team really any. It was a torrential downpour with 4 turnovers. I think that's kind of the game. So once again, we're breaking down this Colts team, and we've wanted, I'm not, not anti-Colts or just trashing this team, folks. We like the Colts. They were off-season favorites. We predicted them to win the Super Bowl up until week 2. But now we're seeing, this Colts team, yeah, they're winning some games, but they're winning it on kind of just contingency, just one thing, last week, 3 big plays against the Texans really won them the game and made it a blowout score. 4 turnovers here. That's the only reason why they win this game. So we're still not saying that this Colts team is ready to compete for a playoff spot or anything like that. Carson Wentz goes 17 of 26. Remember, this was torrential downpour, so 65% is pretty solid there. Only 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 18 rushes for 107 yards and a touchdown. Who was Carson Wentz throwing to? T.Y. Hilton did not go this game, so I'm glad Michael Pittman Jr. was right back on top, being the leading wide receiver, so that's fantastic. Michael Pittman Jr., 4 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. But then we have Mo Alley-Cox, 3 catches, 25 yards, touchdown. Zach Poshkuhl, 3 catches, 14 yards. Then for the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo goes 16 of 27. 16 of 27 is a 59% completion percentage, 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Nothing great. Eli Mitchell, like we said, 18 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. And Jimmy Garoppolo, who is he throwing to? Deebo Samuel, 7 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. Charlie Warner, 2 catches, 30 yards. Mohamed Sanu, 1 catch, 16 yards. And Jamichael Hasty, 3 catches for 15 yards. So just unfortunate torrential downpour. Couldn't be, the ball slipped here, for some of these interceptions. I mean, just look at this interception right here. We can go back to this. This is kind of the interception that kind of sealed it here. Down 5 points, 3rd and 3. 5.5 minutes left. They're at their own 40-yard line. 3rd and 3, trying to pick up the first down. Jimmy Garoppolo completes this ball right here, but the ball bounces out because it's slippery right here with the wide receiver's chest. I mean, this is a catch. It just slips out, and the defender just takes it, and that's it. So once again, just the downpours here getting to the 49ers. We're not going to sell the 49ers off this loss, and we're not going to buy the Colts off of this win. But now we get this by Kyle Shanahan, which once again, Kyle Shanahan, I think he's kind of ruining this team a little bit. These coaches kind of start getting too kind of, smart for their own good, I think. And I think we're kind of getting to that spot with Kyle Shanahan because we get this. And once again, the kind of inconsistencies and the non-answers in the offseason of who's going to be the quarterback. You've still got a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, and you've said it multiple times that, hey, we don't really want to start Trey Lance out of the gate. We want to kind of, get some practice and get some reps in practice and maybe a couple of reps here in actual game time scenarios. But even Kyle Shanahan early on said Trey Lance is not ready. So why not just say Jimmy Garoppolo is our guy and be the end, be done with it? But the entire offseason, he's like, hey, we're going to play Trey Lance this season. We just don't know when. And, we don't really know who the starting quarterback is. We'll talk about that. Like, he was like the last team to really certify Jimmy Garoppolo as the starting quarterback. Like, why? Like, what are we doing? And now after this game, asked if Jimmy Garoppolo will start versus the Bears this coming week, Kyle Shanahan said, quote, I would guess so. We had two quarterbacks hurting this week. Jimmy was able to come back and play. We'll see if Trey Lance can next week. We're still not sure yet, but I got a lot of things to figure out. So once again, Kyle Shanahan leaving a big old question mark, a big old spicy meatball on this 49ers team that's going to affect Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, I'm not the starter. Why am I not just a clear-cut starter? Why are you still wanting to go back to Trey Lance? I couldn't get it done in torrential downpours. That's what you're going to base it off of? And like all of that, you're just making it so if you do go to Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to get lackluster play. And if you go to Trey Lance, if he's not ready, then Jimmy Garoppolo has a chip on his shoulder. Maybe he doesn't rise to play to that chip, and maybe he flounders. But I don't like what Kyle Shanahan is saying actively here. Just put it to rest. Jimmy Garoppolo is our starter. Trey Lance is not ready to go quite yet. Keep it with Jimmy. You're still decently in the season. Yeah, you're 2-5 or 2-4 so far. It's not the end of the world quite yet. I would stick with Jimmy Garoppolo. You're gonna let a rainy day say that Jimmy Garoppolo can't play quarterback anymore for your squad? I just don't think that's the right thing to do. So I'm not really liking what we're seeing out of Kyle Shanahan this season, and now the 49ers are 2-4, can't win a game, unfortunately. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us today. That is all of Week 7 until tonight, where we wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow with our power rankings, grading tight ends, and breaking down the Monday Night Football. All of that in tomorrow's show and our NBA 10 as well. So we're back tomorrow, folks, live noon Eastern, doing it all again. Hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and